My name is Mitchell Jurich. My major is computer science, the game development option, and I am currently a senior. Computer science is all about like the study of software and hardware and kind of, from like a high level and low level concept of how those things function. That can include, algorithm design and analyzing algorithms, to actually programming code, the, instructions that a computer will follow.
Basically the entire program, no matter what option, they're basically there to teach you general programming knowledge so you can get out there in the field and be very flexible and so you can no matter what job you get, you can learn quickly.
So in game development right now they've got 4 courses that are specific for game development options, and they kind of have a lot of variety that they do, that they kind of focus on, because there's kind of a lot that goes into making a game. So, we spent some time working with Blender and 3D modeling and kind of figuring out how that stuff works, and we spend time working with kind of more popular engines like Unity or Unreal, which are, kind of big wigs right now, both in independent development and in even AAA studios now are using those engines. So just kind of all sorts of different areas of game development.
Basically what they do is the earlier classes will introduce you to how levels are made, what a good story structure is for a game, how to make sure that pacing's right, stuff like that. In the current class I'm in, it goes more in depth of designing levels and programming functions in those levels. Today we learned how to make platforms move, how to make collectibles, how to put animations in, stuff like that. So basically it's just it just puts more emphasis on how to make a game work.
So why is game development important to me? Kind of 2 reasons that I can think of. One is just it had a kind of a big impact on me as a kid. So my brothers played a lot of games, and I was able to, kind of bond with them over that experience of playing games together. And so being able to create some kind of experience for other people like that, I think would be really cool. And I'd love to have that kind of an impact on someone. And then kind of the other thing is that, games as a medium are really growing and going in really interesting directions. People are kind of pushing, well, what actually can you make with a game? There's all sorts of crazy stuff going out there. And so I think it's cool this is kind of a really cool time to get into design and development and all that stuff in the game development industry, because there's kind of a lot going on in that, in terms of where are we going? I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm interested in game development.
Ever since kindergarten, when I first picked up a controller, I looked at my parents and said, I want to do that. I want to make games. And throughout my life, I always kind of considered myself a storyteller, a creative guy. And the more I played games, the more I wanted that to be my storytelling medium. So it's important to me because it allows me to go more in depth of how to tell a story and have people interact with the worlds that I want to make. So that's why I think it's super important. And I feel it's important in other ways because it allows for other game developers to do that, use their brain not only to create these programs, but to create entertainment using these programs. It allows for both logical and creative thinking to come together and create something powerful.
Okay, so what resources does the department provide? So a big one is just, both in game development and computer science in general, is you've got people who have some experience, right? Well, not just some, a lot usually. You've got doctorates teaching courses here at UCM, which is great. But with that experience comes, a lot of ability to help push us in the right direction and teach us what we really, kind of need to know, especially on a basics and fundamental level. Not just in game dev, just kind of in computer science in general. So that's definitely kind of a big help here.
I like the way it's being treated at UCM. I like the way the game programming, or the computer science program in general, is being treated at UCM because it allows for even somebody who has hardly any programming experience like myself. I didn't touch programming for besides 1 class in high school. It allows them to have a nice, easy introduction into it, and they start stacking things on stacking more things on and on and on, so you can just kind of ease into everything. So I really enjoy it. So if anyone out there is like thinking of switching their major or like thinking about going to UCM and don't know what to do, I highly recommend looking into computer science, because even if someone thinks they're dumb, they could still learn it here. So.